You're listening to Lucky Hawk Talks, the show where Lucky Hawk talks. Now here's your host, Lucky Hawk.
Hello and welcome to a classic edition of Lucky Hawk Talks. I'm your host, Lucky Hawk. Today's episode is from May of 2014, and I'm with an iconic tattoo artist, Opie Ortiz. You may not recognize the name, but you certainly recognize his artwork, as he created many album covers for Sublime, even appearing on the cover of Sublime's Robbin the Hood album. In the 90s, Sublime was my absolute favorite band. I still love them. So you can be sure I was extra excited to be able to talk to the hands of creation that helped define the band's imagery. So please listen as Opie tells me about his career in tattoos and how he worked with the band Sublime. When did you first realize that you had a knack for art?
It was this one time when I had to do, I think it was like 4th or 5th grade. We had to do like a full-page report on some shit. And I was like, this sucks, you know? Like, at a young age, you're just like, you know, if you're not good at writing, you know, you're just kind of like reading shit and, like, you know, rewriting it pretty much, you know? But I didn't understand that concept at that young age. But I just drew like a picture. I did a report on cows, and I drew this picture with cows. I don't remember what, I think it was with like colored pencils. I just talked about like the cows, how they have like 4 stomachs or whatever, and blah, 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 this certain cow. And I did like this little drawing, and the teacher was just amazed. And like, I got an A, and she didn't care what I fucking wrote down. And I showed the whole class a little drawing I did, and I was just like, whoa. Like, it's a super thing. If you draw something too, you know, it's like, it can be deceiving you, you can get a better grade, you know. Academically, with, you know, just sneaking by doing art instead of, like, really, you know, not getting at, I mean, getting the report, but not really not get a report.
Yeah. At what point did you think you could turn your art into a profitable thing?
It was weird. I was doing a bunch of jobs, you know, as a young kid, like, but I was trying to get into the art industry. I was trying to get into, like, a printing job, because I was already, like, skilled in working with printing and stuff like that, offset lithography. So, but I was just too young, I think, and people didn't want to invest the time to, like, teach me, you know, or, like, school me in their stuff. But I just did all these odd jobs, and then they were all art-orientated, you know. They were, like, painted backdrops for, like, photography stuff, worked at, like, a commercial, like, a location technician kind of stuff for commercials, and that, like, it helped that I have, like, an art background. Because I understood what the photographers were doing when they were, you know, they were like, hey, there's a hot spot in the car or whatever, and you had to black it out and shit. It's just stuff you learn. But I don't know. I saw one of our older friends with a tattoo at like a young age. He was like 15, and it just blew my mind.
The sun logo on Sublime's 40 Ounces of Freedom album, I mean, it's become iconic, and it's just everywhere. Did you ever think when you designed the piece that one day you would just see it on so many people just everywhere?
Well, you wish for that, you know, and then, you know, it's sweet when it's happening, and then, you know, it has like a weird, like, tragic ending like that. It kind of like, it's bittersweet, you know what I mean? Like Brad would say that to me, like, you know, I'm going to take the art to the top, like, you know, he always said that. But I never thought it would be, like, without him enjoying it too, you know, or whatever.
No, how did you first come to be involved with Sublime in the first place?
I went to school with Eric, bass player, and we were pretty good friends. We used to get high and party, and he had a punk rock band. He had a couple different bands, and we'd all go hang out, and they'd go to practice. We were young kids. We were, like, drinking beer and stuff, so just like punk rock. And a little after that, across Brad, and they started jamming some punk rock stuff too, but they would jam like some Bob Marley and some other stuff, you know, like yeah, the reggae stuff started coming into the mix. So we were just all hanging out, you know, like backyard, our friend's band kind of deal, you know.
The first time I ever saw a picture of you, like most people, was on the cover of Sublime's Robbin the Hood, and later I read that was from the video shoot of STP, but I used to always wonder, you know, what the story was behind that photo. What was that day like?
It was pretty weird because they had all pretty much planned it all out, and they had this weird cast of people over there, and they were doing drugs, and I mean, it really was like, they were like, hey, we have this French artist, like, hey, can we use your spot to record a video? And he's like, yeah. So it kind of just happened like that. And then, like, all these other weird, like, just, that's like typical Long Beach shit right there. Like, you know, the bum talking to the lady outside, because there was a liquor store right catty corner to that little spot. So all these characters are like walking in and out of the recording, you know? So it's just like all of us were, you know. The same recording is like, from that is like, I'm not too much into reggae when the bum's talking or we're all talking.
Mm-hmm.
Like from that video shoot too, same as SCP.
Eric reformed Sublime with the new lead singer, Rome Ramirez, under the name Sublime and Rome back in 2011, and that's something that's been met with mixed reactions from fans. But what do you personally think of the new Sublime with Rome?
I'm stoked for him. You know, he's happy playing, and I've seen a couple of them like them play, and they're ripping it. You know, I mean, everyone's gonna have their opinion, you know, but. You know, it is what it is, you know? Yeah.
Long Beach Dub All-Stars, which you're part of, you know, it felt like a very fitting tribute and continuation of, you know, that Sublime legacy. You guys reformed back in 2012 after that long break. Did that have anything to do with the Sublime with Rome reforming, or was that just happen to be around the same time?
No, I had been pressuring them to do something, and then we had some shows come up, and we just wanted to see who was on board, you know. And it's like we've been recording, and the cast is always changing, you know. So it's probably going to be put out, you know, maybe not LPDA, maybe like my solo EP or LP, but we're still going to put out some stuff, you know?
Mm-hmm. Do you have any immediate time frames of when you think any new stuff will be put out?
We've been playing a couple shows local, like San Diego and Observatory, and we're playing up at Cali Roots for the Skunk 25-year anniversary. So I'm probably going to go record later on tonight, but we've been recording, like, slowly, you know?
Yeah. Reality TV shows about tattoo artists and tattoos has become, like, very popular now. But most tattoo artists kind of don't enjoy that. How do you feel about the new reality shows, tattoo reality shows?
I don't know. I don't really like them. You know, it's not really. It's funny to me in a sense, but it's kind of sad because it's like something that you think is really spiritual, you know, and you hold very highly, you know, in what you do is your craft, you know, and it just like becomes like some fucking weird fad.
Mm-hmm.
So it really pisses me off, and I was over it, you know, that I just stay underground, stay under the fucking, all that crap.
Yeah. What advice would you give to an up-and-coming artist that would love to be where you are today?
don't know, like, I consider where I was, like, not lucky, but just kind of, like, happened to be the artist among some cats that were doing some stuff, you know? But, you know, you're only as good as your reference, and you are, like, you know, who you surround yourself with, you know? Who are your idols? Who are your mentors, you know? You know, are you trying to learn something, or are you just trying to be cool? You know, because it takes years and years of, you know, practice and techniques to learn to be something good. You know, you have to master it. You can't just be half-assed. Like I clown my friends when the younger tattooers that I work with, and I say, "Oh, you only tattoo on the weekends?" You know, it's like a joke.
Mm-hmm. All right, folks, and that was Opie Ortiz. Now, he's still around. He's still doing tattoos. So if you're in the Long Beach area, you can look him up on social media. He's around. I'm sure he would love to give you your very own Sublime Sun tattoo. He's probably done about 1 million by now. If you've enjoyed this interview and you want to hear more from me, please let me know in the comments. Please like this video. Please subscribe to my page. And if you want more of my written interviews, or maybe you don't want to hear my voice anymore, if you want to read my interviews, go to amazon.com/authors/luckyhawk. It's free if you have Kindle Unlimited. If you don't have Kindle Unlimited, each volume is only 99 cents. And that's a good deal. But anyhow, I'm Lucky Hawk. I'm out of here. Take care.